Hello, I am Elder Small, and I'd like to thank you for taking a moment out your day and joining me for this brief review of Chapter 4 of my book, You Deserve More. The title of chapter 4 is Consciousness is Life. Consciousness Consciousness is the boundlessness of the air, the innumerable stars in the night sky, and the millions of life forms that exist on land and in oceans, rivers, and lakes. As the embodiment of consciousness, human beings have witnessed changes in the sky, upon the earth, and among ourselves, having evolved through the boundlessness of space and time. Many of these changes we are unaware of because when we journey through the portal of life to incarnate in physical bodies, we left behind more than we carried with us, meaning that we forgot more than we remember. Knowing this, our ancestors left us records informing us that the essence of who we are resides within our inner being being the realm of omniscience. Consciousness Consciousness is life. It is the subtle energy that we call DNA. It is the substance, the energy, the memory that we call atoms, cells, molecules, and genes. These are the building blocks of our bodies, that is, our fingers, our toes, eyes, and hair. The entire body, our bodies are imbued with consciousness. The control center of individual consciousness is the heart mind, or what the Kemites call the heart soul, the ab and the ba. Priests, sages, shamans, and spiritual practitioners they spent their entire lives exploring the inner realms of consciousness. And when they departed this physical plane to join their ancestors, their spiritual voices informed us that the inward path is the path to higher consciousness, and therefore the path that we must learn and come to understand. And so let's take a moment and imagine ourselves in an elevator in a tall building. Let's call the first floor the conscious mind, and the third floor the subconscious mind, and the seventh floor the unconscious mind. Keep in mind that the elevator can stop and have access to all the floors. In this analogy, let's take the elevator up to the seventh floor, which we call the unconscious mind. The unconscious mind, it is also referred to as the causal body. This is the realm where creation takes place. Take the sun and the sun's rays for an example. The sun is where the rays are created, and though the sun's rays appear on earth, the source or origin of the rays is the sun, and there is no separation between the sun and its rays. So the unconscious mind is the underlying substance of the state known as deep sleep, wherein there is no comprehension, only limitlessness, boundlessness, a state of existence wherein we cannot recognize time or where we are sleeping. Deep sleep and dreamless sleep are synonymous because they are states of unknowing wherein all sensory perception, seeing, touching, feeling, etc., become dormant. And being unaware, we become immersed in unconsciousness, which results in a feeling of deep sleep or deep rest. Osmosis occurs between consciousness and the inner self when the brain, words, thoughts, ego, and our physical being surrender to deep sleep. Deep in the unconscious mind resides the heart mind, which is called the Ba, the spiritual essence called the Aku, and the spiritual body called the Sahu. Thus, the unconscious mind is an aspect of the inner self that is timeless. It was never born and it will never die. It is that part of who we are, that part of you that exists in unity and oneness with an infinite universe. Like the sun and its rays, human consciousness cannot be separated from creation, from the Creator. Thoughts and actions from present and previous lifetimes give birth to impressions that stay with the soul in the unconscious level of the mind even after death. These impressions emerge from one lifetime to another as thoughts, desires, and aspirations, which become the underlying cause of future incarnations. So let's take the elevator down to the third floor, which we call the subconscious mind. Here we enter into what is referred to as the dream state, because dreams take place in the subconscious mind. Here, dreamers perceive things and events and have encounters that they believe to be real. Dreams are real as long as they last. The same thing can be said of life. It is real as long as it lasts. The subconscious mind is the deposit box of accumulated social conditioning, desires, emotions, and intuition, which form the abstract ego, self, or personality. Thus, the subconscious mind perpetuates the existence of the personality and ego as we incarnate throughout numerous lifetimes. Dreams emanate from energy forms created from subtle matter and projected to the subconscious mind. Upon waking up, our dream sensations, though real to our nervous system, belong to a realm of life wherein we still have a lot to learn. Think about your reflection in a mirror, and think of the reflection in the mirror as the prototype of yourself, and think of the reflection in the mirror as the prototype and yourself as the protege. In the same way, the physical body is a projection of the astral body. The astral body possessing the power of locomotion, which is the ability to move or travel from one place to another. Like the car, the astral body survives the death of the body as it is the life force energy that is eternal or infinite and eternal. Thus, the subconscious mind is likened to a bridge or a portal, so that as it is above, so it is below. And so let's take the elevator down to the first floor, where the conscious mind resides in the physical body, or the cat. In the physical body, the conscious mind can be understood as the waking state. The mind in every human being has a direct connection to the senses, that is, sight, hearing, taste, smell, and touch. The senses provide the impetus for the thoughts, addictions, desires, and ego-driven delusions that obscure awareness and synergy with the subconscious and unconscious mind. The conscious mind, standing by itself without harmony, balance, and awareness of the more subtle levels of consciousness, finds it difficult to discern and differentiate between justice and injustice, righteousness and unrighteousness, order and disorder, thus finding itself ensnared by confusion and dysfunction. This dysfunction results from conditioning, as the mind is inclined to follow the path of whatever it perceives to be reality. Reality being that which is perceived through the senses. Therefore, we must see past the limitations of our senses, our flesh, and anchor our perception to our souls. The soul incarnates not to be controlled by the senses. No, it incarnates to perfect the practice of spirituality, the practice of spiritual discipline. Spiritual discipline builds the bridge to the true self, to Seti, he, she who is hidden in the coffin. Implicit in spiritual discipline is the acknowledgement that the earth we walk upon is not just dirt, and that the trees and animals are not just resources for our consumption. The more we understand, the easier it is to accept that we are spirits vibrating in unison with all other spirits or life forms around us. Meditation is a component of spiritual discipline, and it serves as a pathway between the different states of consciousness. Meditation helps navigate the various states of consciousness, which are aspects of self, that is, the immortal you, who is the spectator, witness, and observer of the mental changes that occur in the various states of consciousness. And so that's a review. That's just a brief review of some of the information that is in chapter 4. It's a great book. You can pick it up at eldersmall.com. There's some beautiful stuff to take in there. And as we conclude, let me, as always, say dua, which means in the Kemetic tongue, thank you. I say in the Yoruba tongue, we are one. All of creation is one, unity, togetherness, oneness. And may you be blessed with the greatest good and supreme intelligence. Thank you for joining me. Dua. I say.